What's up?
What is
This
up?
is the JC route. This is our Taylor Swift episode. I'm feeling 22.
Oh yeah.
I'm JC. That's the Brock, like the Rock, just smaller, more of a pebble. Birdman's absent again, frustratingly. I've got
I
Arkansas
know.
I want to bully him about. But that's all right. We're here. We're feeling 22. It's Taylor Swift. We're doing good. Like I said, this is the JC route. We're going to JUCO. Not really. We've got some other interesting things to cover today. We're happy to be here. Next week is our bracketology special. We're gonna go through the bracket game by game. Pick our national champion. This
Yeah,
is
that's gonna be fun.
but we'll get there when we get there. This week, we're talking about something I have no freaking idea why we're talking about it.
Man, I can't believe that you're not ready for this. I have been waiting for this. Waited when was the last one? That was 2017. So
Yeah, prior to COVID.
hard to believe it was that long ago. Yeah. Yeah, just prior to COVID. The World Baseball Classic is back. That's what we're talking about first. The US is defending their title.
Are
James,
you really expecting them to win?
You know, I was not expecting them to win back in 2017, but especially when after we lost to the República Dominicana, the Dominican Republic in the group games, pool plays they call it. But then to go on that run that they did, beating the Dominican Republic, then beating Japan, then smoking Puerto Rico. That was a magical run that I'll never forget. Especially, like I said, that game between the U.S. and the Dominicans. Best catch in baseball I've seen by Adam Jones. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
Probably.
The one where he robbed Manny Machado, and Manny Machado just salutes him. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
I'm about to go look it up.
Yeah, go look up that. That is one of the best catches you'll ever see. But no, it starts tonight. We have James Cuba and the great nation of the Netherlands playing tonight. Which, if you look at the rosters for each team, it's kind of interesting just to see like players you wouldn't think, like
That
on the
was a
team.
pretty
Like,
good catch.
yeah, right.
Now that I've seen it, I do remember that catch.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking at the. I don't really recognize anybody. Yoenis Cespedes plays
Is on the
for
Cuban team.
Cuba. Yeah, he's on the Cuban team. Okay. That's the one name I recognize right now.
How old is he now? Like 40 something?
Let me see. He is Yoenis Cespedes. Come on, give me an age. He was born in 95. I'm sorry, 85. So that would make him what? It's not giving me an like actual number. So
38.
38, yeah. Does he even still play? Does he even
just
still
freaking
play?
said.
Does he even still play?
No idea.
No, he doesn't. No, he
I've been
does
so
not.
disconnected.
No, he does not.
I've been so disconnected from baseball the last couple of years. It's just.
But James, we grew up being avid baseball fans.
Oh, I grew up playing baseball, of course, but I don't know. It's something about the Rangers being bad and Rob Manfred being a douchebag and just being busy. Like
I know.
Pay attention to the MLB.
I wanted to ask you what your thoughts on, now that we're on baseball, this whole new pitch clock. Helpful, or does it ruin it?
I'm on the side of the people that you're going to a baseball game to watch a baseball game. You understand that it's going to take time. I really don't care either way because it doesn't seem like it's messing it up too much. Like I think now that you're having to play games with like, if the batter steps out and calls time, they can only call time once, and then they start getting in trouble or whatever. I think that's stupid. I think being able to end the game on on a like a stupid pitching clock foul is stupid.
Yeah.
It's left like so like that part's frustrating. I think all in all, I don't really care.
Okay.
Like Rob Manfred's killing baseball. Like just make baseball fun again.
I
And
know.
you're doing all the wrong things to do that. So
Did you see, speaking of which, how Manfred being Manfred got rid of the infield shift?
yep,
Did you see what the Red Sox did?
they put their center fielder in right field.
They found a loophole in the rule, so nothing changed.
It's so
It's
beyond stupid.
Baseball is a strategy-based sport. It's almost like a chess match.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like my baseball coaches growing up would always say, "Hey, the smartest athletes out there are baseball players because those that watch it casually don't understand what's going on. But if you're in it and you understand what's going on, there is minor shifts and minor adjustments being made minute by minute, pitch by pitch, even. And if you're not paying attention, something's going to go wrong."
Mm-hmm.
And that it's you're playing chess the entire time. And when you're putting these stupid rules in, like limiting shifts and putting pitch clocks, you're kind of ruining that. Like, let the people shift they want to shift. Tell the batter to freaking bunt the other way or learn to hit the other way. Or if people want to drag on the game, so what? Like, it's baseball. It's going to take 3 hours. Like,
Right.
that's what you're signing up for.
Right. I agree. But you asked me, going back to your original question, who do I think is going to win? So if we're going through this, I think the U.S. can repeat. I think they can. Especially with the roster they have now, which, I mean, if I want to quote Chris Bird here about his Razorbacks, this is the more talented Razorback team that they've had, and look how they're doing. But on paper, this is with Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt, Trey Turner, JT Realmuto, Adam Wainwright, I could go on. Like this, the U.S. team is loaded. But I don't know, man. I picked us. I'm sticking with us. The U.S. is going to repeat. The Yanks are going all the way. Do you want to hear the odds though? Championship odds starting at number 8, going up. Who do you think Who do you think has the 8th best chance to win?
So run through all the teams with me again.
Okay, so we've got 4 pools. Okay, Pool A is being played in Taichung, Taiwan, or if you're the Chinese, that's China. We've got Chinese Taipei, the Netherlands, Cuba, Italy, and Panama. Those are all the teams in Pool A. I think coming out of that, we're probably going to see the Netherlands and Cuba, maybe. Pool B.
So you said hold on.
Yeah.
So you said Pool A, you've got Cuba, Chinese Taipei, Italy, Netherlands, and
Panama.
Who's the last one? I'm gonna stick with probably Panama and Cuba.
Oh, so not the Netherlands.
They've got a decent team, but knowing what I know about Central and South American baseball players, yeah.
I'm even, dude. Matt Harvey is playing for Italy.
Okay.
That's interesting. I don't really recognize any of these other pitchers. Is anybody other on there that I'm a big name that I'm looking at? I'm just scrolling through it kind of fast. Mike Piazza is the manager.
Mike Piazza, okay.
Piazza, yeah, thanks.
Piazza, give me a break.
I know.
All
Pool B. We've got Japan. The Pool B, by the way, is being played in the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. It is Japan, Korea, Australia, China, and the Czech Republic.
I think Japan's the obvious favorite there. Yeah,
Japan. Yeah, because of Shohei and man, who else do they have on? I mean, Japan. I'll go through the odds in a second.
Yeah. I mean,
and Yu
probably
Darvish.
South Korea is probably the second favorite to come out of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's the. I would agree. I really don't know who
They
plays
take
on
their
the.
baseball very seriously on that side of the world.
They do that they do. I really don't know who would be on the Czech Republic team.
No idea, but don't worry about it. Keep moving along.
Keep moving along. So, Pool C is us,
Okay.
Mexico, and this is being played in Phoenix. So
Mhm.
us, Mexico, Colombia, Canada, Great Britain. Us, obviously, and then
Probably Colombia.
Colombia over Mexico. I was leaning Mexico, to be honest with you.
I think you can't go wrong with either one.
It's more of the pitching
Canada
aspect for
I
me.
just don't trust Canada or Great Britain, unless Canada. They could sneak somebody in. I don't know, but I'm tending to lean towards Colombia or Mexico probably. And I'm as now Colombia.
Okay. Yeah. I like that Julio Urias, though, plays for Mexico, though.
Okay.
And then
Pool D.
Pool D, which is this is probably going to be the easiest. We got Puerto Rico, and this is being played in Miami. Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Israel, and Nicaragua. The
Ooh.
obvious. It's the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. That's easy. Maybe Venezuela. Maybe.
I was gonna say not Venezuela.
Maybe Venezuela, but I think Puerto Rico and the DR are just too strong, man.
That's fair. I know for a long time Venezuela was ridiculously strong. I'm guessing a lot of their good players got old and retired or something.
Yeah, like your Vít Torrealba. You
I
remember
mean,
him?
I mean, Elvis Andrews played for Venezuela.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
Where's he from originally? Do you know?
Venezuela. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Pretty sure.
Dude, Robinson Chirinos plays. And Jose Altuve's on Venezuela.
That's why I'm telling you, their roster isn't terrible.
Acuna. And they've got Miggy.
That's what I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah,
it
they're
could.
not bad.
I think the Dominican Republic is probably the favorites in that group. Their roster's
Yeah.
just obscene. But between Puerto Rico and Venezuela, it's pretty close.
Yep. So, odds starting from 8 going up.
So if we talk through that, we said, you said Netherlands and
Cuba.
In the first group, who did you say? You said Netherlands and.
Let me see. Who did I say?
You pull up. Come on, man.
I said Netherlands and Cuba. Yeah. So who
Netherlands
has
and Cuba? Group 2, Japan and South Korea.
Yeah.
Out of the top 8, well, so the people we chose were you chose Cuba and Netherlands. I chose Cuba and I don't know who I said in the first group.
You said
Panama.
Panama, yeah.
Panama. Then we both said Japan and South Korea, USA, and I said Colombia. You said Mexico. In the group DR, and then either Puerto Rico or Venezuela. I'd say you're asking for the 8th best odds, yeah?
Yeah. Who's number 8 in odds?
Probably Mexico or South Korea.
Incorrect.
No?
With 42-1 odds, it is number 8, Cuba.
Okay.
Now, number 7. I'm kind of surprised at this, but they're more in line with what you were saying earlier. But I'm kind of surprised that they're this low.
Venezuela?
No. Number 7 is Puerto Rico, 24-1.
Okay.
Number 6.
Now we're probably getting into like
I wouldn't think this one, honestly.
Japan?
No. I'm actually surprised that they actually are this high.
It's high.
Yeah, we didn't say either. We did not say this team.
Which one?
Number 6 with 18-1 odds is Mexico.
I mean, you said Mexico.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I did. And mainly because They got Randy Arozarena on that team.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah. Okay. Tied. There's tied for fourth. Okay.
Okay.
With 13-1 odds, we've got Korea.
Korea with who?
Venezuela.
Yeah. Okay.
And then now it gets easy. Who's number 3?
Japan.
Japan with 2.8 to 1 odds.
Okay.
Then who's number 2? We said it earlier.
USA.
Yeah, USA is number 2 with
And then Dominican Republic.
2.6 to 1 odds. And then the República Dominicana is the favorite by 2.1 to 1 odds.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm leaning Dominican Republic this year. Like their roster is just ridiculously good.
But so is ours, bro. Ours is good.
I agree, but
And
Yeah,
Mike
no.
Trout's on the team now.
okay.
Mike Trout's on the maybe now he'll actually get to
What
actually,
has he done for the Angels in his career?
Well, the Angels in his defense are notoriously good for ruining careers. That's fair. But
Sure, he
Dude,
makes the USA team better, but what has he done for the Angels?
I mean, true. I mean, I love the USA pitching staff. Dude, I mean, and just like the infield too. I mean, Pete Alonso, Tim Anderson, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt,
But
Trey
you didn't
Turner.
want to get a polar bear jersey.
They didn't have them available. I wasn't going to get my jersey till April. And then our outfielders, bro. Mookie Betts, Kyle Schwarber, Mike Trout, Kyle I mean, I could go on. And our manager's Mark DeRosa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't disrespect Mark DeRosa like that.
Hey, Jim Leland brought us home the trophy, man.
Former Ranger great Mark DeRosa.
Mark DeRosa played for the Rangers? I did not know that.
Sure as hell did.
I did not know that.
I have one like oddly specific memory when I was little. We my dad and I went to a game. I think it was like a weeknight when I was young, and we got rain delayed, but we stuck around. And we were sitting up top, and we came down because people left to the first kind of deck.
Mhm.
We're sitting on the first baseline, and I remember being like midnight, and we're in the 14th inning, and Mark DeRosa's coming up to bat, and I'm just like, please end this game.
And he did?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, no, he did. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure we lost that game actually, but I just remember in the 14th inning being like, Mark DeRosa is really coming to bat right now.
Right. Dude, I'm looking forward to it. Though. Nick Martinez.
That was back when the Rangers were awful every year, like now.
Right. Dude, Nick Martinez, former Ranger, pitching for Team USA. I love our pitching. Before we end this topic, I want to go look at the Dominican Republic roster. I'm going to pull them up. Let's see here.
Read through it.
Let's
Read
see.
through
So, you want me to read through USA's first? Or I kind of did, but not so much.
Yeah, go ahead and read through both. Go ahead and read
Okay.
all the way through both.
So
Don't
pitchers.
spend a ton of time on it. Just read the names all the way down.
Pitchers. Okay, Jason Adam, Daniel Bard. I love Daniel Bard. David Bednar, Kyle Freeland, Kendall Graveman, Merrill Kelly, Lance Lynn, Nick Martinez, Miles McCullough, Adam Ottavino, Ryan Presley, Brooks Raley, Brady Singer, Adam Wainwright, Devin Williams. The only person that had to back out of this that I'm really sad did was Clayton Kershaw.
Don't disrespect Miles Michaelis like that.
Miles Michaelis. It's even okay. He's pretty good.
Ranger great.
He's 34.
Former Ranger great.
Cool. All right, so that's the pitchers. Catchers, we've got I'm gonna try to pronounce this name. Kyle Higashoka. Higashoka, thank you. Then JT Realmuto, and then Will Smith. Infielders, Pete Alonso, Tim Anderson, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, Trey Turner, and Bobby Witt Jr. Outfielders, Mookie Betts, Jeff McNeil, Cedric Mullins, Kyle Schwarber, Mike Trout, Kyle Tucker. That's a pretty strong team.
Bobby Witt Jr., former OU commit.
Where'd he go?
He went straight to the draft out of high school. He was drafted 2nd overall.
Okay.
I'm
Dude,
pretty
he's
sure he got to Cal, Texas.
he is actually he's from Colleyville, yeah.
Not Colleyville. Sorry. Not
Dude,
Colleyville.
he's 22. This dude's young.
He was drafted right out of college or high school, sorry.
Dude, last year he hit 20 home runs and he had 80 RBIs, batting 254 as a youngin. It's pretty freaking good.
I hope so when you get drafted 2nd overall. I was sad when he didn't come to Oklahoma. But when I saw he was drafted, I was like, I'd expect that.
Okay. So now let's go to the Dominicans.
Okay.
Pitching. I don't know this guy. Brian Abreu, Sandy Alcantara, Ronel Blanco, Genesis Cabrera, Diego Castillo, Roansy Contreras, Johnny Cueto, know him, and Neil De Los.
Because you're struggling.
Dude, these names are getting me a little bit.
Brian Abreu, Sandy Alcantara, Ronel Blanco, Genesis Cabrera, Diego Castillo, Roansy Contreras.
Yeah, see?
Johnny Cueto, Enyel De Los Santos, Camilo Doval, Carlos Estevez, Luis Garcia, Yimi Garcia, Christian Javier, Rafael Montero, Hector Neris, Joel Payamps, Gregory Soto, Cesar Valdez, Francisco Mejia, Gary Sanchez, Willie Adames, Jaime Candelario, Robinson Cano, old as fuck. Dude's 41, or he'll be 41 this year. Rafael Devers, Wander Franco, Manny Machado, Ketel Marte, Jeremy Pena, John Segura, Teoscar Hernandez, Eloy Jimenez, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, their pitching doesn't really scare me all that much.
Really?
I don't know a lot of these people.
Christian Javier.
Yeah, okay, I know him.
Damn near won the Cy Young last year.
That's true.
Johnny Cueto's been good for a long time. Sandy Alcantara is another one of the great younger pitchers in the league right now.
Johnny Cueto is 37.
Diego Castillo is pretty good. Who else? Luis Garcia is a good pitcher. Rafael Montero is serviceable. Hector Neris is one of the better bullpen pitchers in the past couple of years. Gregory Soto's been solid. Gary Sanchez has been kind of a hit or miss catcher. But you've got one of the better infields. I mean, I think the infields are pretty close. I'd probably lean USA infield, but I'm definitely leaning Dominican Republic outfield.
Really?
Because you've got probably four of the best young. You've probably got four of the best younger outfielders in the game right now.
I would say age, yeah, I would agree with that. But in terms of experience,
I mean, you had rookie of the year. You had rookie of the year, Julio J-Rod last year, and you have Juan Soto to go with Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah.
Teoscar Hernandez. Let's see. What did he do last year? 267, 25 home runs and 7. Okay, that's pretty good. I think it's pretty close, bro. It's neck and neck.
It's definitely not terribly close. I think I'm leaning Dominican Republic pitching and outfield. USA's probably got the catching and the infield locked up. So it's close either way.
Yeah, it's close.
But, you may have to give it to the USA because the Dominican Republic has Nelson Cruz, and he likes to fuck shit up.
See? Man, why'd you say that?
Let's be honest. He's not going to be playing right field.
But he'll find a way.
No, he's not going to be playing right field.
Anyway,
that angle.
It'll be a great time. I am actually heading out there early Saturday morning, and I with my girlfriend Ryan. Y'all have seen her, and I am going to go to the game Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. They are playing. Let me tell you this, James, before we move on here. Who is the U.S. playing? That's a great question. So Saturday they play Great Britain, Sunday they play Mexico, and then Monday they play Canada. That Mexico game is going to be good.
Yeah, that was true.
So anyway, it'll be a great time. It'll be a great, great time. Get to mark Chase Field off my list.
We'll see what happens. May have to change our predictions after the group play rounds.
I know we think we will. You're going Dominican all the way. I'm saying Team USA all the way.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Chris said he's going US to repeat. Before I did want your opinion on this. Chris said that I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I get to mark Chase Field off my list now. And I was like, and he goes, no, you don't. And I was like, what do you mean I don't? He goes, you're not seeing the D-backs play there. And I went, you can go shut the fuck up and go fuck yourself. The World Baseball Classic is taking place there.
That's pretty aggressive.
He was like, no, like you have to see the actual team play there. And I was like,
according to who? Him?
Says who? So yeah,
I've been to freaking AT&T Park in San Francisco, and there was no game that day.
You toured it?
I went to the gift shop.
Oh, nice, dude! I toured Busch Stadium.
I got a Buster Posey shirt.
That's actually pretty cool. And then I told him, I was like, well, I've toured Busch. I got on the field, and he goes, well, then by your logic, I've been to Lambeau. And I was like, sure you have. So
nobody's doubting that.
Nope. Anyway,
but
moving on.
Let's move on to the NFL because a couple interesting people have signed with a new team.
Oh, really?
Mr. Derek Carr is now a Saint.
Oh, yeah, he's with the Saints. What do you think about that,
actually
man?
Improves them.
Can you get any worse?
I mean, Jameis was okay. Derek Carr is better than Jameis, marginally. Mm-hmm. And Derek Carr is definitely better than Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
So he definitely makes them better, significantly better. I think it's too early to tell. They need to kind of re-up on their talent at receiver and offensive line, it seems like. Well, I would say that Trevor Penning was okay. He was just hurt most of the year last year. I think you insert him back in the lineup, he helps. Mm-hmm. But definitely auxiliary linemen and more receiver depth will definitely be beneficial for them. Yeah, so we'll have to see how that goes. Who else got signed? Because I think you mentioned a couple other people got signed.
Oh, yeah, the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah, Tony Pollard in the franchise tag.
Yeah, Tony Pollard got franchise tagged, which I don't know what else you're going to do, but in the grand scheme of things, it kind of disappoints me that they're not moving on from as much as I think Zeke, they need to move on from him. I want him on a long-term deal.
You tag him, you cut Zeke, you draft a rookie running back, and then you sign Tony.
You're talking about drafting or like cutting Zeke before this next season?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. And then draft Bijan?
I'm not going to pay you $15 million a year to get 2 yards of carry and be freaking Brandon Jacobs and bowl your way through a line for 2 yards. That's not it, Chief. That's not it.
Nope.
I'll pay Tony and cut Zeke. I know you're going to get a nasty cap hit for a couple years, but get a rookie. The rookie class this year is strong. You know, you got Bijan Robinson. Maybe not draft him because Texas running backs in the league don't have the best history.
But this is Bijan we're talking about, James.
Yeah, but look what happened to Ricky Williams.
I know.
And then what about Deontay Foreman?
But look at Priest Holmes.
Jamal Charles, I guess. Okay.
And Jamal Charles.
But look at OU running backs.
DeMarco Murray and Adrian Peterson?
And Joe Mixon.
Okay. That's
and
true.
Samaje Perine.
But who's coming out of OU this year that's a running back?
Eric Gray.
Okay, but comparing him to Bijan,
No, but like you got Bijan, you've got Jameer Gibbs, who actually was faster than Bijan Robinson in the 40.
where'd Jameer go to school?
Bama.
That's right.
You've got oh shit. Who else?
Dude, look at Bama running backs. You want to talk about their non-success?
Derrick Henry,
Trent Richardson,
Mark Ingram,
TJ Yeldon.
TJ Yeldon's probably the most mid running back on that list.
Dude, I mean, how many Alabama running backs have not lived up to their potential?
Couple.
Derrick Henry was weird. He was like a late bloomer.
Late bloomer. Dude was 6'5", 250 in high school.
That's true. But when did
Have
he
you seen
actually?
his high school footage? Like his high school huddle?
No, I haven't.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Dude's a grown ass man running through kids.
What do you think about the Ravens placing a franchise tag on Lamar Jackson?
I think it was expected.
They're putting a non-exclusive franchise tag on him. I'm reading that right now. I heard on the radio today, a fan was calling into 105.3, and he asked, should the Cowboys pursue a trade with Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Absolutely not.
Aaron Rodgers
Absolutely
was
not.
washed. And for me at this point, I don't see why you would trade for Aaron Rodgers and get maybe like a 1-year stopgap before you get a new quarterback. I'd rather you just keep Dak and draft a replacement. If you plan on going that route, just keep Dak, draft a replacement, and go from there.
Yeah.
Save your trade capital, save your draft capital. Just draft somebody else.
And here's the other thing, James. What about if they could trying the Cowboys, because we know we need defensive help. That's a given. What about trying to go get either Frank Clark or where I just lost it. Never mind. What do you think about Frank Clark on the team?
Depends on what we're giving up for him. But in reality, he's more of an edge player, at least from my understanding. And edge wasn't our issue this year. It was more interior based. So if we see him playing primarily inside and he's going to significantly upgrade us, then sure. But if it's going to cost us an arm and a leg to get there, I'm not sure that I would do that, considering I'm pretty sure he signed a new contract not too long ago and they're paying him a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that the Jags, they franchise tagged Evan Ingram. I saw that. I saw Keenan Allen might become a free agent.
Own hands, Evan Ingram.
Do you think we should start rebuilding our line based on people that are going to be free agents, like Orlando Brown, for example?
No. Because I think where we're at depth-wise now, it would be more beneficial to draft an offensive lineman high than to go sign somebody.
Sure.
Because, realistically, we've got Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith to play left tackle, left guard. We've got Tyler Biadasz at center. We've got Connor McGovern kind of as that swing guard, like that kind of backup guard, backup center type. You've got, Zach Martin at right guard, all-pro, legend. And then you've got the right tackle spot, which is interesting because Terrence Steele was what caused our kind of shortage last year. He's coming back next year. And if not, you play Tyron left tackle and Zach and Tyler Smith right tackle or vice versa. Honestly, at Tyron Smith's age, it would probably be better for him to play right tackle and let Tyler Smith, the younger kid, play left tackle. But that's the thing is if you're gonna reinforce the line, I'd say you spend decent draft capital on offensive linemen. Not none of this 7th round pick Nate Farniok bull crap. No. Like I'm talking about if you want to draft a good lineman, do it in the top 3 rounds.
Yeah, and I saw that the boys are also trying to re-sign Terrence Steele to a long-term deal.
Which that's fine.
We should. Last question on free agency. Should the Cowboys try and bring back Byron Jones? He just got released by the Finns.
What's the price tag on it?
The Finns apparently are saving $13.5 million by releasing Byron Jones.
So he left us and became a bum. Got it.
Yeah, he did. He did.
What was that?
Mm-hmm.
UConn's
So,
good for
the thing is, I don't expect anything from the Cowboys in free agency, James. I really don't. Because they have done absolutely nothing except sign Brandon Carr way back when. And I have draft, different story. I've learned to expect some things in the draft. But everything else, they don't typically go make free agency moves.
No, I'd expect us to try to go in the draft. I know we can spend more time with the draft as it gets closer, but I'm torn on who I would take in the first round. I'm leaning either if we can get like Siaka Ika in the first round, probably go there. Or if we can get like Jackson Smith and Jigba in the first round, do that. But
if we can
go, or heck, we can go. I don't know if we'd go like corner in the first round. There's not too many like middle to high tier corners. Like there's like a couple like elite ones, and there's like a second tier that's like okay. I'd say you probably want to go something like that, or because ideally, what I would try to do is like do maybe Siaka Ika in the first round, and then maybe go corner in the second round, and see if we can scrounge like a Marvin Mims in the third round.
Maybe I'm more of like if Jackson Smith falls, I want him. If Bijan falls, get him. And the reason why I say Bijan is because if we don't take him, I have a strong hunch the Eagles with the second to last pick in the draft are
don't look now, but they could have him at 10.
They're not going to take him at 10. They're going to go defense. I promise you.
I don't know why they would do that. I'm seeing a lot of freaking like projections of them taking like defensive interior linemen at 10, and I'm like, he's one of the best front sevens in the league last year. What the hell?
It's funny that
best. What do I know? I'm not GM.
But James, it's funny that best front seven got beat by a quarterback with a broken ankle in the Super Bowl. That's funny. But
yeah,
anyway,
but that's also Patrick Mahomes.
That's true.
One quarterback in the league right now that deserves $50 million a year.
But they are going to go. I'm like fairly certain they're going defense. So, and that's just me taking a swing.
Sure.
But no, I
draft another wide receiver, or draft a running back. That's their one weekend on offense.
But Miles Sanders.
Okay, yeah, Miles Sanders scares me.
Just because I'm curious, what did Miles Sanders do this year? Let's take a peek.
Mediocrity.
Let's compare his numbers to Ezekiel Elliott's.
Oh, he was probably better than Zeke's.
Yeah. Miles Sanders stats. Let's see. This year.
259 for 1269. 11 TDs.
It's not terrible.
This year, Zeke had 231 for 876 and 12 TDs.
He had what?
231 carries for 876 carries and 12 TDs. So he had one more touchdown, but averaged about a yard less per carry.
Yeah. So, I mean, Miles Sanders is not bad.
I was surprised, but also after Miles Sanders, who do you have if you're the Eagles? Boston Scott.
Boston Scott. Let's see
Yeah,
what Boston
okay.
Scott did. James, now let's see what Boston Scott did. By the way, guess who just called me?
Who?
Chris Bird.
Oh, Boston Scott had 54 carries for 217 and 3 touchdowns.
Okay, never mind.
But on the flip side of it, look what Tony Pollard did.
Let's see. Tony Pollard's stats. Let's see. 2022.
193 for 1,007, 9 touchdowns, and then he also had 3 receiving touchdowns. So in total touchdowns, he had more than Miles Sanders. Let me just make sure. Yeah, he had more touchdowns than Miles Sanders. He had less yards, but his yards per run was better, and he was more of a receiving threat.
Mhm.
And so, that being said, Tony Pollard was extremely comparable to Miles Sanders this year. But also, Zeke is our second running back, and the two of them put together is miles better than Sanders and Boston Scott.
Agree. I think it's time to.
So as much as we hate what Zeke did this year, I'd be grateful that we don't have Boston Scott and Miles.
I wish I had Boston Scott's contract paired with Ezekiel Elliott.
That's fair.
That's the part that I don't like. Is he's getting paid how much money to how many yards did Zeke average this year per carry?
3.8.
3.8. 15 million to go 3.8.
Yeah.
That's
paying $15 million a year for Brandon Jacobs.
Uh-huh. So yeah, no, that's my problem. But no, I seriously, James, I would, assuming Jackson Smith and nobody we want on the board is there with our pick, but Bijan is, I seriously would take him just to cock block the shitbirds in Philadelphia.
That's fair.
And then use Zeke as trading material somewhere.
Trade Zeke to the Birds.
No. Dude, what if Zeke has this? Say we did that, and then he has this.
What happened when Marco Murray signed for the Birds? He did great. Fuck all.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I remember all the hype around that too. When they got him, and he was
I was pissed. I remember that.
Yeah, and yeah, he did nothing.
He got traded to the Titans. What was that? Either after 1 year or in his first year with the Eagles or something like that?
Something like that. Something absurd. Anyway. You got anything more
running backs for OU.
Got any more anything else to add?
I think it's the NFL until the draft.
Let's move on to the NHL.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because there's a conversation I need to revisit. Last week we talked about college football and potential matchups for OU and Texas in the SEC. Since we had that conversation, our friend Ross Ellinger at SI released what he was able to compile as far as when he talked to insiders within the SEC of who the opponents would be. I want us to take a look at what we found. So I'm going to pull that up. Okay. And if you would look at the screen,
yeah,
we can see OU would get Missouri, Texas, and Florida.
Every year?
Yes, that would be our annual permanent opponents.
Okay.
Which Texas was a given automatically. We knew that. Florida was one of the ones I actually mentioned. It actually interested me. for recruiting purposes and trip purposes. I think it'd be fun to go to Gainesville every other year. But Missouri, I'm not mad about it because that's one of those games that's definitely winnable every year.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have Arkansas. I just think I really,
dude. I'm kind of shocked at that. I'm shocked how A&M and Arkansas aren't playing each other either.
Dude. Side note: look at Missouri's schedule. Arkansas, OU, and Vanderbilt. They got off easy.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, look at Auburn. They're like you get Bama and Georgia every year. Oh yeah, we'll throw you Vanderbilt every year too.
That's fantastic.
Which is hilarious. I think Bama got the short end of the stick too, but they're Bama, so they can handle it. Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. Those are 3 amazing games every single year. So I'm glad I would be happy if we kept something like that. Sure. I think same thing with A&M. I agree. It'd make more sense if it was LSU, Texas, and Arkansas. It'd just make more sense. Yeah. But and I know this stuff is difficult, but and it makes sense. And then Texas, how do you feel about Arkansas, OU, and A&M?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Is there any of these teams we're looking at? Are there any that you're just like, I don't think it makes sense?
I don't think OU's makes sense.
It does seem a little bit out there. I'll be honest.
What else? I don't get why playing Missouri.
Well, that's ex Big 12 rivalry.
Yeah, I would have liked to see OU and A&M play each other every year.
I don't think that makes sense. I just don't.
No,
because I don't think we want to go for just let's do the Big 12 again. Because then give us the Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, or Texas, Missouri, A&M, or Texas, Arkansas, A&M. Like we'll just do that.
Sure.
I like that we're keeping Texas. I like that we're keeping one of the old Big 12 rivalries, whether that's Mizzou or Arkansas. I'd rather go to Fayetteville every other year than go to Columbia every other year. Just there.
Yeah.
But I like that they've added like a new SEC rivalry into it. Which Florida, there's like some history there. Like, in the early 2000s, we were playing for national championships and stuff like that. So I like that they're kind of rekindling that a little bit, but being realistic about it, it's a new SEC rivalry versus Texas. They're just like, yeah, you get the Big 12 again. Here you go.
I get A&M versus LSU in Texas. I don't understand Mississippi State.
I don't get that one either. But that's probably one of those where it's like, hey, A&M, we're giving you this to keep you happy.
Why keep them happy? They deserve all the misery in the world.
I agree, but SEC does things a little bit differently.
Dude, Auburn. That's so funny. Man, Auburn can't catch a break.
No, absolutely not.
By the way, Chris right now is watching sports.
You should tell him to hop in. We've got like 10 minutes left. But yeah, I just think this whole concept's interesting. I kind of hope it changes a little bit because, again, I don't really follow Kentucky football or Kentucky rivalries that much, but Georgia, South Carolina, and Mississippi State seems really weird.
Yeah.
Just that seems like an odd mix. South Carolina makes sense. Tennessee, Florida. Actually, that doesn't make sense because where's the Georgia rivalry?
Yeah, I don't know.
With South Carolina, flip Flip Kentucky with Georgia. Well, tell them to turn it on. Bum. I'd say flip Kentucky with Georgia. And then give Kentucky another opponent.
Who would you give them? In your opinion.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. Wow, now he said I'm about. Go ahead.
All I know is I'd rather see South Carolina play Georgia than Kentucky, but that's it.
Yeah, I agree. Here's who I would give him. No, I take that back. I was thinking Arkansas, but no. Honestly, just to make honestly, just to
Tennessee.
Yeah. Or give South Carolina what would be interesting. Mississippi State.
South Carolina OU.
You want Spencer Rattler?
I'm telling you, South Carolina is my SEC team until we join.
Because of Spencer Rattler?
Yes. And
why?
Shane Beamer.
Why do you like that kid? That kid is the most arrogant, pompous little shit.
You haven't been paying attention. Was that the case when he was on QB1 in high school? Sure.
Yes. 100%.
Was it the case at OU and at South Carolina? No.
At OU until he got humbled.
I'm also a really big fan of Shane Beamer, so shut up.
Okay.
But yeah, that's enough of that. We'll learn more as the year progresses because I'm sure they'll kind of start nailing in that information sooner than later, given that it's happening next summer.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to our good friend Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks.
Are they still
They
in the
won.
lead? Or...
They won.
Okay.
But as of last night / this morning, they were in the play-in.
They were?
Mm-hmm.
Right now they're sixth in the West.
So I'm not exactly comfortable.
I'm not either. Dude, I actually watched the whole game of the Mavericks versus the Lakers when the Mavericks somehow blew a 27-point lead. That was brutal. That was really brutal. And, I'll say this. It must be nice to be a Lakers fan, getting all the calls, getting all the lucky breaks, all of it. But the Mavericks sure did their part in blowing a lead. I think the biggest thing, James, that we're missing from this team, we traded for Kyrie. Great. Congratulations. Kyrie was not what we needed. We need a big.
Disagree to an extent.
We need a big.
We do need a big. I agree with that. But I also would say that we needed another ball dominant player capable of helping. Oh, looky here.
But
well.
There he is. What? How many excuses did we go through over text message? Let's see. Computer isn't on. I'm about to watch some baseball.
So to catch up real quick.
So what are y'all talking about?
So
The Mavericks.
Right now we're talking about the Mavericks, and we did need an additional big, which we didn't get. We did need a Kyrie Irving type, like point guard, ball dominant player to match Luka, but they aren't exactly playing well off each other because they're both so ball dominant. They're kind of awkward around each other.
Yeah. The thing with the Mavericks, first off, I like Uncle Drew. Not so much the Kyrie Irving part, but like Uncle Drew when he plays basketball, he's a fantastic player. But that was not the thing that they needed. I think I get that we need another ball handler, but like you need somebody in the middle. You need a guy that can give you solid minutes in the post, or to go and get rebounds, to play defense. Because
you know
when
what
you get
really
down to it-
frustrating? Because we definitely need one of those players.
yes,
What's frustrating is the way the Mavericks play with Kyrie when Luka's not in the lineup versus when he is in the lineup.
Oh, I know. How many games have they won when they've both been in the lineup or on the floor together?
Like 2.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
they just
And
won. They just won the game today.
What?
But
Yeah, I think I'm including that game. I think it's like 2 or 3.
Okay.
What I'm talking referencing specifically is in those 2 games we saw Kyrie play without Luka. The way the Mavs shared the ball and passed the ball was addicting. Like it was beautiful. But now
I think
you've got 2 ball dominant players that just keep the ball for most of the time, or they pass the ball to each other. We don't see that anymore. And so teams can dial in on them, and then it's like, well, all right, Reggie Bullock, hit your shot. Like
and yeah, you kind of hit it. When they do pass, it's only to each other, and then they run out of time and lose a game.
I think what happens is, the shooters that he has around Luka are very streaky players. There are times where it looks like Luka really wants to share the ball, but the guys he's kicking out to just brick it. There was a significant difference between the games even the game that before Kyrie came to the Mavericks, they didn't have Luka and they didn't have Kyrie, and the ball movement was unbelievable. It was so good, and that to me was what made Golden State so great, was their ball movement, and they looked
continuously makes them great. Is their selfless?
Yeah,
ball
exactly.
But and that's what's frustrating is because the Mavericks are capable of doing that.
And you saw it.
But with Luka in the lineup, with Kyrie in the lineup, with both of them in the lineup, because they're so dominant, we don't see that. When in reality, if Kyrie and Luka trusted the players around them and spread the ball out like we know they're capable of, we'd be so much better.
Agree.
I think it's a case of Kyrie trusts the players around him because he hasn't been around the players enough. I think Luka's kind of lost faith in them because Reggie Bullock has been not great for the first half of the season. You got Tim Hardaway, who is, if he's on, you're going to get probably six threes out of him. If he's off, you're going to lose because he's going to catch the ball and brick it. So I think you have a guy that's just kind of doesn't trust the shooters he has around him. And like I said, Kyrie, who's just started being here, and he doesn't have that understanding of, okay, this guy can't shoot. He's known as a shooter, so let me get it to him and let me see if he can actually hit something. Versus Luka, who's like, okay, he can shoot, but he's like at times very streaky, or just can't hit anything. Make sense?
Yeah, 100%. It's frustrating,
but like
I don't. But with where they are right now, like I can't see them making it very far, if at all, in the playoffs.
I think they have their potential, their high end potential can be going far in the playoffs, but I need to see the consistency out of that higher end to see them progress consistently.
I think you just hit the nail on the head, James. It's just consistency, because when
there's games that are good and there's games that there's not
that are just atrocious.
Not games right now than there are good games.
I know,
but it's not even game to game. There's consistency problems. Not even game to game. It's quarter to quarter. like you see like the Lakers
Yeah.
game where they're be up by 30, or the game against who was it on Friday night, the last game they were on TV, where they just look so good for a stretch, and then you're just like, can we just win this game in the fourth quarter? I forget who they. Oh, I think it was the Sixers. They
It
played
was the
Sixers,
70s, yeah.
and
the
they were
Sixers.
and they gave up two different 15 point runs, I think, in that quarter. So it's not even game to game consistency; it's quarter to quarter consistency. But the thing is that it's not about whether or not the Mavericks got better. I think they got better, but every other team in the West got better. The West is going to be. I think the West is going to be unbelievably brutal. It's going to be just. First off, it's probably going to be must-watch TV for most of the playoffs. But like every team got better, and every team, like I was watching the Golden State Warriors the other night. They look great. I forgot who they played. I think they played the Grizzlies, and they looked very good. And that was without Steph Curry.
Speaking of the Grizzlies, what the hell was John Morant doing?
Being very immature. I don't
Aiden,
understand. Like
you don't know the story?
I've been keeping up with it a little bit.
Dude's causing problems.
I saw he apologized.
Oh yeah.
Like here's the thing. Here's the thing that really like dumb about it. The whole gun situation comes like a week after he was accused of pulling a gun on a 17-year-old in a pickup game.
Yep. Like
how
why is he at a club? Why is he at a strip club at 2 a.m. waving a gun around?
Seriously, like why do you have a gun in the first place? Okay, actually, I understand having the gun, but why do you
I
feel
was
the
about
need
to
to do
say,
this?
I can think of reasons.
Okay, but he doesn't have a bodyguard or two.
Surely he's got a posse going around with him.
Yeah.
Like him, like like he's worth what? Almost probably
His big contract hasn't gone into effect yet. But guess what? If he does something stupid, he's not going to get that money.
Nope.
No, he's not. I mean, he's flirting with his career, and it's stupid. I've seen this a lot on Twitter. He'd be the first guy to make it out of the NBA, the way he is doing. Like he's on a trajectory that's going to get him out of the NBA, and it's unbelievable because last year everybody was looking at him as this amazing player, and he's an amazing player, and everybody was rooting for him. Now all of a sudden, he is a just not a good role model for anybody who's watching.
Any professional.
He needs to
sport
get
for
that out.
matter.
He needs to get that out. Yeah, for sure. He needs to get that out of his system. Otherwise, he's going to end up like a Gilbert Arenas.
That's that Murray State education going into effect.
Thug life.
Well, he needs to figure out how
what
to
he's
get
doing.
away from that. He
So
needs to have a come to Jesus meeting.
But
we're pushing
away
we're
from
pushing
the NBA, we also wanted to talk about the Stars
and hockey.
before we get out of here.
So
NBA
ever
is my
since
expertise.
coming
Definitely
back,
talk
ever
about
since
that.
coming back from training, I've gone to quite a few games. Some have been really good, but some have been like last night, just frustrating, giving up the lead and blowing a game with 5 seconds to go.
Well, to be fair, we never had the lead last night.
Oh, that's true. Giving up going in overtime. But I will say this: I like our position. I like our position a lot better than I did last year. Last year we were chasing a playoff spot. This year we're about to get like the number 1 seed in the West. And Vegas lost tonight. So
Good.
I would like to stay out of the overtimes though.
Well, sure, but I like our position, and as a team, adding Evgeny Dodonov, who works great as a complement to his line, and Max Domi, who's had a decent year, who scored last night. I think it just makes our lines better, and our third line would be a good second line on other teams that are trying to make it into the playoffs right now. So I like it. I like our position. I like where we are. I wish DeBoer was smarter like what we were talking about earlier, James, with his
With the
defensive
goalies?
lines.
I think that my biggest frustration is personnel decisions throughout the game.
Yes.
Like I fully understand wanting to have Miro Heiskanen fresh and ready to go for overtime, but see the game through first. Don't put Hakanpää and Lindell out there. Your third D pair. Don't put them out there at the end of the freaking game.
Agree.
Like
The game's not over yet.
you're putting your I think it was like our fourth line was out there with our bottom D pair to finish the game out. What are we doing?
A sick pass to Toffoli on the breakaway. Who's having an incredible year.
Like, what is that decision?
And I think he's also playing Otter a little too much down the stretch. I think Otter's getting a little tired.
I disagree. I think Otter's fine. I think I'm frustrated with our defense in front of him primarily because I understand that's been a common theme with all of Peter DeBoer's teams. He's an offensive guy, so all of his teams have had defensive struggles. But guess what? That theme is continuing with the Stars this year. So we're getting into these 3-4, 4-2, 5-4 games, and because we have the weaker defense, we're losing them. That's why, because we have weaker defense, we're getting these overtime games and we're losing them. Sure, we're scoring more goals and it's fun, but we've got to be able to win these close games, which is because the year we made it to the Stanley Cup, it was the exact opposite. We were winning close games because we're allowing one goal, maybe two. The problem is we couldn't score more than 2 goals. That was a problem. And now you're saying what Jim Montgomery's system is doing this year in Boston when you have the scoring power that Boston has. You have the defensive system and you got the scorers.
Well, yeah, but Boston's also a whole nother. I don't know what's going to happen when.
And then they freaking added Tyler Bertuzzi. What are we doing?
Bertuzzi. They got Dmitry Orlov too.
What are we doing?
But dude, we want to talk about the defense. Dallas still sits as the 5th best defensive ranked team, and our goalies are 3rd. Some way, somehow.
That's why we're number 1 in the West, but.
Well, almost. We're 1 point behind Vegas. We are 1 point behind Vegas.
You know what's funny is it's easy to nitpick when we're going through a rough spell, and when we lose sight of what the whole season we've done as a season.
This season's been great.
My concern to this point is we need to get back on the winning side of things before the playoffs, so we can have some sort of momentum heading into the playoffs, because the last thing we need is going in as the 1 or the 2 seed and get railed in the first round because we have no momentum.
Right. I think.
Which honestly, I'm expecting at this point.
I mean, as a whole, like even like these past 6 games, like it hasn't been terrible. Like we're 4-1-1, but still, I get what you're saying. I really like their young goalie that they have that made his debut, Matt Murray. He did a superb job in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And Wedgwood's not bad either. I do want Otter to be fresh though for the playoffs. So give Wedgwood and Murray maybe another look or two. That's what I would do. Just see what happens.
I don't disagree. I just think over a consistent amount of time, Otter's our best chance to win games.
I don't disagree. I think, one thing that would do wonders, I wish we traded him at a trade deadline, is Colin frickin' Miller. Dude, he's
our 7th defenseman?
Yeah, but he starts. He started last night. He was on the same line as Heiskanen. And I was like,
wait. He's on our top D pair?
He was last night. With Miro. And all he does is just sit and watch the puck. He can't make the pass. He can't make a defense. Literally out there for moral support and to take up room. But I think we're okay. I'm really happy with what we've done this year. And as long as we don't win the President's Trophy, I'm good.
Well, we don't have to worry about that.
No, but you know why I say that.
Yeah, but even then, considering even though we're pretty much the first best team in the West, the top 5 teams in the NHL are all in the East.
The NHL in the East, Holy crap, bro.
Well, what's also crazy is the top 5 are in the East. Then you've got like Dallas and Vegas, and then you've got like 3 more Eastern teams, and then all the rest of the West.
Dude, like, I mean, you got Boston, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Carolina.
Yeah. But
No,
that's it.
But anyway.
We've got problems to fix before the playoffs. The last thing we were talking about, Chris, before you hopped on, was last week, or so 2 weeks ago, you and I talked about potential matchups in the SEC. Last night, Aiden and I caught up on it, and this week we talked about how between our last episode and this episode, Ross Dellinger released with Sports Illustrated released his article where he's basically talked to insiders in the SEC and kind of pieced together what he's hearing as matchups. So we talked through that. And what we found is what you see on the screen.
Hey, Chris is gone.
Arkansas has Missouri, Texas, and Ole Miss. It's okay. I can fix that. No, this is better.
Bye, Aiden.
Hold on. Bye. There I am. Peeking.
That doesn't work.
Way to fix that, James.
Okay, now I can't see myself.
Hold on. Here we go. That's good.
All right, so.
But what do you think about Arkansas with Missouri, Texas, and Ole Miss?
Since Ole Miss, I think, since we've joined the SEC, has probably been one of our bigger rivals. I've noticed Missouri and Arkansas. I mean, everybody's trying to make the Missouri-Arkansas thing a rivalry. And I think it's
you don't like the battle line?
I mean, like, I'm just not a fan that it took over the LSU thing, because I really enjoyed watching Arkansas and LSU on Thanksgiving. But I think slowly it has started to become more of a heated thing, especially on Twitter. I've seen a lot of things from Missouri and Arkansas, and there's been a couple of things back and forth with recruiting and stuff like that. And then, I mean, the Texas thing just, what isn't historic for Texas as far as rivalries? But I mean, that was a historic rivalry for both of us in the Southwestern Conference. So
yeah,
I don't have a problem with any of those.
Sweet. The one thing I would say is look at Auburn's schedule.
Wait, where's? I mean, they get it. They get Vandy. Anybody who gets Vandy that's an automatic win.
Vandy, but like the other two are Bama and Georgia.
They're going to go 1-2, but like they're going to go 1-2. But I mean, they're going to have Alabama. They're going to have Alabama for life. That's like Texas and OU. They're bound forever. And then Georgia. That's a classic rivalry in itself. Those are rivalries. I mean, I get that they're both good, but and Auburn was on a downhill trajectory.
Just so unfortunate at this period in time.
Wait, let me see that again. I want to see. I want to take a look at it again. I want to see what Vanderbilt did. Auburn, Missouri, and Tennessee. And then
I'll be honest.
Oklahoma.
Look at Missouri's. Missouri got off easy.
Wait, where's Missouri?
Arkansas,
potentially, yeah.
OU and Vanderbilt.
I mean, but that again, that goes back to rivalries. I mean, you got the Magnolia Bowl with Ole Miss and LSU. You got the Egg Bowl with Arkansas or Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and then Arkansas. We've never had a rivalry name for them, but that's, like I said, that's been a rivalry in football. Not on the grand scheme of not on the grand scale of things of the Iron Bowl or the Red River, but it's been a rivalry.
Fair enough. But I just thought that was interesting to work through it. All right, guys, we've been going 75 minutes now. Let's wrap it up. Any final words?
The Cowboys still irritate me. They're not doing anything in free agency other than franchise tagging Tony.
What is, by the way, I had this question asked to me. What is in free agency that would be worth going to get? Like a splash.
Honestly, let me see.
Because I haven't looked.
That's a
Like
good question.
I'm asking that because I was asked that, but
Top
also
50
I have no clue.
players ranked. Free agents ranked. Lamar
That
Jackson.
we need.
Lamar Jackson, unrealistic. Orlando Brown,
Yeah.
wouldn't go offensive line. Javon Hargrave,
That'd be a splash.
Deron Payne, he got
That-
tagged, didn't he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he did.
Did he? Or did he?
He got
did.
tagged. Jamel Dean.
I think one of the defensive ends or the linemen got tagged by the commodes.
Dalton
Commanders.
Schultz is a free agent.
he is.
I
I
wouldn't
think
sign
I
him.
feel like Jesse Bates would be a fun safety addition.
That would okay.
Do we
Draymond-
really need Dalton Schultz anymore?
Draymond Jones would be a
No.
good tackle signing.
No.
Jesse Bates would be nice.
That would be a good one. I wouldn't mind that one at all.
Jordan Poyer would also be an interesting safety addition.
What about C.J. Gardner Johnson?
No, he was that stupid one that fought when he was with the Saints.
Frank Clark would be interesting. Like I said earlier, James.
Yeah, it would be interesting, but he's more of an edge guy than a tackle, and we need a tackle.
We
Juju
definitely need a tackle.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
We definitely need a
Well,
tackle.
same thing like
We definitely.
Dalvin
need a
Tomlinson with the Vikings. That'd be a good signing.
Top things you need is a tackle, a decent kicker.
Let's just raid the Eagles. And
DB.
get Cox.
Okay,
James. we
that'd be
need
good.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
No.
Odell
But
Beckham.
wait, like I said,
Let me
No.
ask you a serious question, Aiden.
Yeah.
Are we a serious football team? Or are we going to be doing TikToks all year?
TikTok.
Knowing Jerry Johns, we're doing TikToks.
he doesn't mind the TikTok.
No, if you're Jerry Jones, you're
As
gonna be
long as
doing-
it makes him
no,
money.
If you're Jerry Jones, you're going to be doing paternity tests.
As long as it gets him money, he doesn't care what you do.
That's so ridiculous.
No, it's
I mean, I wish it wasn't true, but that's how it is. I mean, realistically, you would be getting some of those free agents and trying to see if they can come here, if if they make sense. But he's going to go and get the splash guy
I
to
know-
make it conversation about the Cowboys, not about going to win a championship, but just conversation,
and I know
just to get
it's
the names
been-
in the headlines.
I know we've been going on for over 75 minutes. Radical question. Hear me out.
No,
Trade Dak to free up cap space and potentially work out a trade to get Jimmy G.
No.
No? Not sold, James?
I'm not either.
No, because yes, you're saving cap, but you're making your football team significantly worse.
Okay, not Jimmy G. Trey Lance.
No,
Still.
he hasn't proven anything. Honestly,
Yeah, now he's
Jimmy
coming
G,
off injury.
Chris?
Jimmy G's
But
proven more.
Chris,
Huh?
you just mentioned prove anything. Has Dak proved anything since his rookie year?
He's proven more than Trey Lance.
Dak is statistically one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league.
I don't know how, but you're right.
He's proven more than Trey Lance. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe he does turn out to be a great quarterback, but I mean, injury. You
Now,
can't really
hold on.
tell from
Radical thought, but anyway.
Hold on.
injury.
If we somehow traded Dak and signed Lamar, now you got my attention. Is it ideal? No. Is it fun to think about?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that would be actually really interesting to get Lamar Jackson on this team.
The thing with Lamar Jackson is he's always been predominantly a running quarterback. He's been very underrated as a passer, but as he starts to get older, his running ability is going to go down, and his passing ability is just going to be. I've never been I thought he was a better passer than what people give him credit for, but I don't think he's like up there where he can be a pocket passer.
Yeah.
Anyway, That's all I got.
Chris, any final words?
I mean, going back to that conversation, I mean, with that, you know, if you had to trade Dak, you'd give up a lot of stuff. And with Jimmy G, he was a very good bus driver, but he had a lot of talent around him, and you need talent to be able to bus drive.
Absolutely. I've got one final word, and it's completely
USA.
off topic. Completely off topic.
Is it OU softball?
No,
Okay.
but they still don't deserve to be number 2 right now. When they blew the doors out of UCLA, that's stupid. No, Formula One returned this weekend.
That is true. It did.
Our Daddy Max Verstappen beat the rest of the field by 50 seconds.
Man, I'm all about that Team Mercedes, James.
Well, so here's the reality of it.
I'm kidding.
Max was in first place by 11 seconds. Second
Yeah.
place was his teammate Sergio Perez. Third place was 28 seconds behind Sergio Perez. And then Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton was in fourth, another 10 seconds behind Alonso. So, Sainz was fourth. Lewis Hamilton was fifth. So, as it stands, Red Bull's going to run away with this. Because, here's the story. Red Bull, they turned their engine down near the end of the race because they were so far ahead.
Oh, nice.
They were telling Max and Sergio to target a lap time 7/10 slower than they're capable of doing. And I'm like, they won by almost they beat Mercedes by almost a second a lap. You're telling me they could have beaten them by 2 seconds a lap? That's hilarious, one. But two, like, it may be a boring season.
Yeah. And the new season of Drive to Survive is out. But anyway.
I've seen it. It's all right.
Anyway, though.
But let's go ahead and get out of
All right.
here. We've gone
And
an hour and a half now. Thanks for listening. This was our Taylor Swift episode.
Go,
Doing the JC route. We're feeling 22. We will
go
be back
Mavs,
week.
go
go
USA.
Stars, go Hogs,
We will
USA.
be next week.
Pony up.
Let's
Next
go get
week
something to eat.
is our March Madness
Let's go get something to eat.
bracketology special. Selection Sundays this weekend. We'll be back Tuesday, if not sooner, working through the entire bracket and picking our national championship favorite. I'm sure
USA.
that will go great. Until then, take it easy. Take care of each other. We'll see you when we see you.
Go Dallas.